Before we get into today's episode, let me make something very clear. The point of this episode, and honestly, the point of all of my content, is not to judge Black people. It's not to belittle us. It's not to talk down. It's not to act like I've got it all figured out, like I've never made mistakes, because the truth is, I've made a lot of mistakes. I don't have a perfect past. I've done things I'm not proud of. I've posted half naked pictures. I've been there. But the point I'm trying to make is I'm being vocal about it now, so maybe you don't have to go down that road. So maybe you can see it for what it is before you make a decision that changes your whole life and you can't take it back. I want us to love ourselves, to respect ourselves, and to have pride in where we come from. Because I actually believe Black people are more than capable. We don't need pity. We don't need handouts. Our ancestors did more with less. They had no rights, no resources, no freedom. And somehow they still built, they still pushed, and they still made a way. So this conversation, it's coming from love. It's coming from truth, and it's coming from the need for change. We've been through hell and back, and we're still standing. But surviving isn't enough anymore. It's time for us to thrive. Welcome back to Conscious Culture.
I'm breaking chains, freeing minds, it's a time to rise. Conscious culture in my veins, yeah, we see through the lies. They telling stories, trying to mold what we thinking inside. But I'm cutting through illusions, showing truth worldwide. They trying to box us in, but we step out the line. Redefining who we are, no longer falling behind. I see the games they playing, how they shape our design. So I'm speaking for the thinkers who refuse to be blind.
Black people and white people share a history in this country. That's not an opinion, it's a fact. Our stories are intertwined, sometimes in pain, sometimes in progress, but always connected. And while the history books may not always tell the truth, we know what's been endured, we know what's been fought for, and we know what's been passed down. So let me ask you this. When are Black people going to take the generational wealth our ancestors left behind seriously? And no, I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about something deeper. I'm talking about our rights, our freedoms, our access, the very ability to be able to thrive in a nation that once did everything in its power to keep us enslaved, silenced, and broken. That is generational wealth. Our ancestors didn't just dream about freedom. They bled for it. They built for it. They prayed for it. And they left us with more than just a legacy. They left us with opportunity. So why are we treating it like it doesn't matter? Why are we neglecting what they died to secure? They passed us the baton. And what are we doing with it? Because we aren't just born free. We're born responsible to protect what was earned in blood, responsible to build something better for those coming after us. We are living in the midst of their answered prayers. The question is, are we honoring them or are we wasting what they left us? Now, this isn't just about history. This is about culture, our culture, and the direction that it's headed. So let me ask you this. When are Black people going to take Black culture seriously? Not just when it's trending, not just when it's profitable, not just when you're angry online or when you're clapping back. I mean, take it seriously in how we raise our children, how we show up in public, how we speak to each other, how we represent ourselves when no one is watching. Because right now, we're losing. And I'm not talking about racism. I'm not talking about white supremacy. I'm talking about self-inflicted wounds, the dysfunction we've normalized, the ignorance we excuse, the toxicity we defend and even promote in the name of keeping it real. The truth is, we are not victims anymore. We have resources, we have knowledge, we have creativity, we have manpower, we have legacy. But we won't build anything meaningful if we keep tolerating nonsense. If we keep lowering the bar, if we keep pretending like accountability is disrespect. Let's just start with the mirror. Because if we can't be honest with ourselves, really honest, we're not ready to grow. We're not ready to lead, and we're definitely not ready to win. Too many of us know exactly what's wrong, but stay silent because we're scared of being called anti-Black, Uncle Tom, Coon, Tether, I think is the newest one. But let me make this clear. Accountability is not anti-Black, it's pro-Black. We say we love Black people, but we're not making sure our children can read. We're not making sure our communities are safe. And we're not building Black families. We say it, but we're not living it. We scream Black Lives Matter, but we still don't talk about the fact that most Black men who are murdered by other Black men. That is not white supremacy. That is us. And no, we cannot hashtag our way out of it. We can't pray it away. We can't protest it away. We've got to face it and we've got to fix it. This episode is a challenge to you, to me, to all of us. It's time to stop playing. It's time to reclaim our culture, and it's time to rebuild what our ancestors left for us. Because if we don't, who will? Can we be honest? We've talked enough. We've marched. We've rallied. We've hashtagged. But what we need now is strategy, structure, and standards. It's time to stop reacting and start building. Because the truth is, we don't need more panel discussions or viral think pieces. We need blueprints. We've got enough millionaires in the Black community to build our own schools, to fund our own after-school programs, to create safe neighborhoods without relying on systems that were never designed to protect us. We talk about generational trauma, but where is the talk about generational correction? We've got these kids who are off lean, Molly, Hennessy, Percocets, zoned out, numbing pain, with all the potential buried under addiction and distractions. It's truly heartbreaking, because I know for a fact there are so many Black minds that are capable of brilliance, capable of vision, capable of impact, but they're lost in a fog because no one's ever told them you were made for more. We need to be the ones that say it. We need to be the ones that live it. We have enough intelligence, money, access, manpower to do this. We need to stop waiting for someone else to come save us, because no one is coming and no one has to, because we are enough. We need community leaders who don't just want clout. They want transformation. We need influencers who are not just selling dysfunction for likes, but using their platforms to build character, family, and truth. We need men in our homes, fathers in the pictures, and mentorship on the ground. We need Black excellence that's not just on the stage or on the TV, but on the block, in the schools, in the living rooms. This isn't about perfection. It's about priorities. We need to stop glamorizing pain and stop idolizing brokenness and start lifting up the blueprint of what's possible. We're not powerless. We're just disorganized, and it's time to change that. All right, let's land this episode right where it matters most, within ourselves. Because before we can change a culture, before we can rebuild a community, we have to do inner work. We have to deal with the spirit behind the dysfunction, because this isn't just about policy. It's not just about poverty. This is about the condition of the soul. We are spiritually starved people in a culture full of noise. We're constantly searching for help out there from celebrities and politicians, from movements, from the next trending voice on social media. But when was the last time you looked inward? When was the last time you asked yourself, what do I need to do within me to change my surroundings? What am I tolerating in my life that's keeping me stuck? We don't need more saviors. We need to return to principle. We need to return to truth. And we need to get aligned with something higher than ourselves, because without that, we will keep chasing validation and never find peace. Malcolm X said it best in his Ballad of the Bullet speech, and I want you guys to hear him say it for yourselves. Take a listen.
So this government has failed us. The government itself has failed us. And the white liberals who have been posing as our friends have failed us. And once we see that all these other sources to which we've turned have failed, we stop turning to them and turn to ourselves. We need a self-help program. Do it yourself philosophy. Do it right now philosophy. It's already too late philosophy. This is what you and I need to get with. And the only way we're going to solve our problem is with a self-help program. Before we can get a self-help program started, we have to have a self-help philosophy.
He was very clear. No one is coming to save us. It starts with us. It starts with the spirit. And it starts with how we think, how we heal, how we hold ourselves accountable when no one is watching. We've got to stop outsourcing our power and start reclaiming it. You want change? It starts with your habits. You want growth? It starts with your mindset. You want legacy? It starts with your spirit. If we're serious about thriving, not just as an individual, but as a people, then we've got to tap into something deeper than hustle, deeper than politics, and deeper than image. Because this isn't just cultural, it's spiritual. And when we clean up inside, the outside will reflect it. Look, I know this episode was aimed at the Black community, but let me be clear. This is bigger than just us. The Black community, we are the tip of the iceberg. What we're seeing, the breakdown, chaos, the confusion, it's not just cultural, it's spiritual. And what's happening across the country, all across the world, We're in the middle of a full-blown spiritual war. And if I'm being honest, Black people and white people, we're probably going to have to come together in ways we've never done before to take our country back. Because this is no longer about skin color. This is about right and wrong. This is about truth and lies. This is about whether we're going to keep letting the country be spiritually, morally, and culturally occupied by forces that don't care about us, that don't care about our children, and that definitely don't care about this nation's future. This is deep, this is heavy, and it's going to take brilliant minds, strong hearts, and unshakable conviction to rise above it. We're going to need people who are willing to look beyond division, beyond manipulation, and actually build something righteous again, something true, something that brings life, not death. Black people, white people, we've all been here for a long time. We've lived different stories, yes, but we've been on the same battlefield. And if we don't unite around truth, we will all lose. So to everyone who's listening, Black, white, brown, whatever, this is your call. Get serious, get rooted, get aligned, because the soul of this nation is on the line. And if we don't fight for it now, we may not get another chance. All right, y'all, that is it for today. If this episode stirred up something in you, good. That means your spirit is still alive, but don't just sit with it, move with it. Let's push you into action. Have the conversations, reflect, realign, shift, because this just isn't about being woke. It's about being awake. Awake to the truth, awake to who you are, and awake to what's at stake. If this message meant something to you, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and send it to someone who needs to hear it. Help keep the truth circulating, because we built this together, one conversation at a time. And if you're ready to rise, to build, to heal, then stay tapped in. Here at Conscious Culture, we don't play it safe. We go deep, we challenge lies, we hold the line, and we lead with truth. Until next time, stay bold, stay rooted, stay conscious, and I will see you guys next time.
Conscious culture, we awaken and we learn. Fire in our spirits, watch the system as it burns. Question every lesson, let the real truth return. We break the mold, and now it's our turn.